second group, we've got Sarah and Jayne. So I'm trying to and Drew. Yeah, so we got the names right. Good. And so let's take a look at yours. Yeah, trying to tag on any process stuff, like how you made
We also
it.
had the same assignment to make a video.
Yeah, we're in the same course as they are actually, and so we also created a video podcast for the family nutrition program to post on our website. And our topic was promoting healthy breakfast habits in middle school age children.
So our audience is still like lower income families, mostly like parents who have preteen age kids going off to school.
And so, I'm not sure whether the first group mentioned this, but one of the requirements in this assignment was to create an emotional-based message, because as dietitians, we know that there's a lot of science behind the foods that we eat and how it affects our health, but we're working with people who may not necessarily have that same background knowledge as we do, so we need to make that message relatable. And so to make it relatable to the general public, but more specifically for SNAP recipients, we're trying to focus on how does this impact their life and what meaning, how will this meaningfully impact their life. And so the angle that we chose for our video was to show how eating a healthy breakfast fuels your child to have success in school, because they have the energy that they need to stay focused and not feel tired or hungry. And so for a parent of a preteen, giving their child breakfast in the morning before they go to school does have a meaningful impact on the child's life.
That's great.
We also did a lot what they did too. We had to write out a script. Obviously we wanted to stick to the requirements. We also wanted to put some entertainment in there. You'll kind of see with our actor Lewis, he's pretty funny. Which made it stand out too. We threw in a bunch of ideas, but we made sure to plan out each scene carefully and then go over things. And one of the things that we did too is we try to get this done as early as possible, because we did have some issues with the filming, with certain sounds, the microphones.
It's never easy though. It's not as easy as it looks.
Also, when we were filming, we realized we had so many other ideas that we wanted to put into it, but we did have a time limit, and it was actually really hard putting all the information we wanted to into like a minute and 30 seconds. You don't realize how much time you actually have.
Did that come
until
from
you
the
have to
program?
edit it.
The program was asking you for a minute and a half long video? So I noticed both yours
This
were
is
very
a minute
similar.
and a half is the best attention people actually really have to paying attention.
Sure.
If you have a minute and a half video with all the same information that you have in a 6-minute video, it's a little different.
That's great.
And actually in this video, even in a minute and a half, we're still going over 3 main concepts in the video. The first one is just, having breakfast period is better than not having breakfast at all, because at least you're getting some energy to fuel your brain and also keep you from feeling hungry. And then we also talked about having protein, fruits and vegetables, and a whole grain as going back to healthy eating guidelines. And then we just gave suggestions for quick tips, quick ways that they can make a breakfast, because for a lot of these families, they don't have a lot of time. Kids may be trying to grab or trying to catch the bus, so having a breakfast that they can carry with them is really important too.
And we also used Innovation Space and iMovie to put this all together. Put this out there.
Thank you all for continuing plugging the Innovation Space. They're great partners of ours as well. So yeah, a lot of this stuff wouldn't happen without them. So I'm really glad to have that.
We also made sure to keep the video as simple as possible. And going off what Sarah was saying, we definitely tried to make sure that our audience could understand our points, and we avoided using jargon.
That's good. Let's look at it, because then I do have a couple of follow-up questions I want to ask.
Oh wait, here, don't forget your breakfast.
No time, I'm about to get the bus.
But this is the 3rd time this week you've skipped breakfast.
No time, bye. Oh no, here comes my test. A D.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I study nutrition at Virginia Tech. Kids have a lot to manage these days, including all the stresses of school. To set your child up for success, start every day with breakfast. Breakfast provides the energy your child needs to stay focused and to do their best at school. A good breakfast includes a protein-rich food like peanut butter, cheese sticks, or other dairy products, fruits or vegetables, and a whole grain, such as granola or whole wheat bread. As you can see, there are many simple, on-the-go meals that will provide you and your family the proper nutrition for a great start to the day. A helpful tip for any family is to plan ahead for breakfast. By having the right foods already in your kitchen, it could take less than 5 minutes for your child to get a great start to the day by eating breakfast.
Oh, here, why don't you take this apple and granola bar for breakfast?
Yeah, thanks.
Have a great day.
Oh, yes, an A. Yeah, I guess Mom was right about the breakfast.
For more tips to help your family eat smart and move more, visit our blog.
Any questions?
You said you.
Hi, sorry. Yeah, I do. Sorry, that's right. Table talk.
You said you had a couple of specific questions.
I do, yeah, and I guess a lot of it had to do with the process, because I know when I work with faculty and they think about all the stuff that goes into making a video, and especially they jump oftentimes to this sort of technology curve of learning how to do that. All the video examples we saw today looked very well produced, like lots of good pieces, like you said, layers to the script obviously there. I'm really curious about the amount of time and work that going in. You said you had messages that you wanted to put in. Did you do this all yourselves? Were you getting feedback from other groups or your professor? Like, I'm curious about VNP, or like, did they provide feedback as you were going?
Okay.
Just curious.
This is, as we were saying before, within the confines of the class assignment. So we're working on this, producing this as a class assignment, and the goal is to make it publishable for the Virginia Family Nutrition Program, which they publish. This video will go statewide, so it will have an impact.
Nice high stakes.
Awesome. Yeah.
You know you will get a wide audience. Yeah.
So we first started out with working on the storyboard and working on the script, and all four of us as team members had input on, having to decide what messages were the most important and how are we going to share that message and how will it fit within the time frame. Our professor, Mrs. Cox, was really helpful in this process. She helped us get in contact with the mother of the child, Lewis, in the video, so that we could have a child actor, so it would be more relatable than having one of us try to act as like
especially when it's going out there into the world.
Yeah, and another thing she helped us out with, that kitchen is part of the Apparel, Housing, and Resource Management's Center for Real Life Kitchen Design. And so they had, in that room, there's like 7 or 8 model kitchens. And so they had a starter kitchen in the back, and it looked, very appropriate for what our target audience, what their kitchen might look like. And so that keeps it really relatable, as Olivia was saying. You don't have granite tabletops or expensive cooking equipment in the kitchen. So she was really helpful with that. And we actually, before we submitted this assignment, we had a first draft of the video. And so we presented it on our lab days. And so there are about 20, 25 students in the lab, and each group is presenting their video. And so we filled out this questionnaire for each group's video about things like, was the script appropriate? Were they using jargon? Was the setting appropriate? Did it use an emotion-based message? Did it have a positive message versus a negative message, and things like that? So there was continuous feedback throughout this entire process.
I mean, I'm an old writing teacher, and writing never happens in isolation either, and it's really important, I think, to think of with these products too. Portfolios as well, they never happen in isolation. You're constantly sort of seeking the appropriate feedback. I don't know if there's any of either one of you want to sort of add on to those, like your process of putting all this together, because I mean, even yours, I would say, something key to digital storytelling. Gavin, as you were saying, the shift between your first and your second project there's almost this emotional layer. Like all of a sudden now you want some texture to the voices, and it's like giving it sort of a deeper message like that. So did you do that all yourself, or did you get some
I mean,
feedback?
other than the fact that there was an additional person in the room to try and have a voice differential between myself and
Sure.
was supposed to be Benjamin, the script and everything was purely like pretty much from the text itself, pulling just snippets that I thought were appropriate.
Perfect.
Actually, one of the questions that I have for you guys, you were saying that you had you reviewed a first draft.
Yeah, so our class, we had like these long lab times, and our teacher basically brought in food, and we all got to like see our videos before everything was ready, and then we got to talk about it as our groups and just write down some ideas, like what we liked, what we didn't like, what improvements and everything, just constructive criticism.
Beautiful.
It was really helpful. I mean, some parts were kind of hard to fix.
So did you change much?
We ended up changing some of the sound.
Yeah, there's some audio of it because originally we had a song playing throughout the whole thing, but it was too loud and it was kind of distracting, so we ended up just removing that entirely. So.
Another issue that like we hit during filming was there was like this in our kitchen where we filmed, there was this like this air conditioning noise that like we kept on hearing throughout the video. We're like, how do we get this to go away without messing with like the electricity around? So we ended up just like editing it out like a little bit, and then the music over it helped blur out the sound too, so you like couldn't hear it.
And I think you mentioned you had light kits, right? Did you mention that? Did you say that? No, okay. So I was wondering what kind of equipment.
I think you have to have a teacher to actually get those.
To get the light.
We just had the standard video camera that you can rent out from Innovation Space, had a tripod for stability and for even panning, and then
Microphones.
Yeah,
that was about
You
it.
did use mics.
Yeah, the lavalier mics, which you can see on when I'm talking. There's the mic clipped onto my shirt, and we try to hide it on there after.
And the galleries used mostly still image and
a lot of them was
standing
image.
effect.
I just used the Ken Burns effect.
Yeah, I say a lot of yours is editing, post-editing work, and putting that stuff together. I mean, yours has a lot of post-editing work, clearly, same with yours, but there's a lot of pre-production planning and making sure that you're getting the right audio and things like that as well. So that's good. Let's see.
And we had a lot more ideas to add into the video, but obviously the 1 minute 30 seconds was very constricting. It's tough. But what we did decide, and this came from previous experience, when working with a different set of videos. I was like, guys, like we really should do all the audio in the audio bay and record it and do the voiceover. Because I don't know, like I think that the crystal clear sounding, like it came from yours too, like when you're sitting in an isolated environment, you don't have to worry about all the the air conditioning and stuff, which it has such a great effect to have someone talking, but then it's like
makes a difference.
Yeah. So it's a hard decision to make.
It is. It's like little things that make the difference. So like nitpicky things, but it really makes the video 10 times better.
Time of day,
Yeah.
that you don't usually think about with academic projects. All of a sudden you're thinking about, well, what is the quality of my sound?
And to follow up on your comment, Olivia, so like you were saying, to use the audio bay that Innovation Space has and do those voiceovers, it's really great because you do get that crystal clear sound, and these videos might not necessarily be watched in a quiet environment, so that's something you have to consider too. That where is this person going to watch this? And they're going to need to be able to hear the person clearly. And then the trade-off is because with working with those farmers market videos for another project, when you have those clear audio files, you have to match them up really well to the speaker's lips. Otherwise, there's a noticeable delay in between the person who's moving and they're making gestures and their lips are moving and then the audio. So the person telling can tell that it doesn't quite match up, and so there's also editing time that has to be put into that, or editing time that has to be put into reducing the audio. So just in general, either way, there's a lot of editing time that goes into videos.
Let me throw it out there. Your all's projects, how much time did it take you?
A lot.
Can you put it together?
At least 20 hours.
20 hours.
Yeah.
30. How about you?
We don't realize.
Yeah, you don't.
I'd say yeah, about 20,
20
25.
hours. Yeah. That's to give faculty kind of a sense of this is a 20. This isn't a end of the semester project to do it after all your exams. This is a whole semester project, which we often see as a common mistake, and we'll add this on to all the other work. It's like there's a lot to it. Would you do it again?
Yeah.
Would it be worth it?
Yeah.
Great. I mean, they're very awesome to me. I love to see them. So. Well, thank you all. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Feel free to hang around.